Good evening. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Commissioners of St. Charles Parish Housing Authority, Tuesday, January 23rd. The time is now 6:01 p.m. I call the meeting to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, our first agenda item this evening is a review and approval of the agenda from our last meeting. Looks like we have, are we reviewing the November and December meeting?
I think it's
Did
just
December get canceled?
Well, it didn't get canceled, we had a discussion, but it wasn't recorded when I got together.
Okay. All right, so review for November 28th, 2023 meeting. Any board discussion? All right, do we have a motion from the board?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that the minutes from November 28th meeting stand as approved.
second.
All right, we have a motion made by Ms. Jackson, seconded by Mr. Woods. All in favor? Aye.
And
That carries.
y'all thought, well, time out.
Huh?
I do have something I wanted to say.
Okay.
I apologize. I thought we were reviewing, but you did say review and approval. I was really going to add something to our agenda for tonight.
Okay.
And that would be an executive session.
All right. Being that it wasn't advertised on the agenda, we would need full board approval. So,
Absolutely.
are you making a motion
Mr. Chair,
to?
I move that we add an executive session to our agenda this evening.
All right.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
That carries. We'll add executive session after public comment.
That's fine.
All right. Ms. Prevost, you ready to give us your report? We approved them. Make sure your mic's on.
Start with the VMS. For portable vouchers, I have 7. All other vouchers, let me go back, yeah, 7, 247. Total vouchers, 254. Number of vouchers under lease, 249. Number of vouchers issued but not under HAP contract as of the last day, 4. Portable vouchers administered podium, 6. The HAP was, for the portable vouchers, $6,476. For total vouchers, the HAP was $225,918. HAP after the first of the month, $4,528. Fraud recovery collected for the month, $100. Non-MTW administrative expenses, $10,000.
Miss, would you let us know what
I am
you're at?
on
Just for
page 5.
keeping everybody on the same
had 14, then they have 5. Got it?
Mr. Woods, you good?
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
ACV, unrestricted net position, UNP, the last day of the month, 278,696. ACV, restricted net position funds, last day of the month, negative 51,909. HCV cash investment, as of the last day of the month, $239,030. For public housing, unit occupied,
And you're on what page? Now, I'm saying that there's at least one new person with us.
flip it over to the, to the executive director report.
Okay, that's where you moved out of BMS.
Oh, okay.
Let us know where you are, please.
Thank you.
For December, the units occupied is 38. The number of lease-up, none. The number of vacant due to rehab, 10. Units vacant under the SVC plan, 82. Total units, 129. Move-in, 0. Move-out, 0. Rent, $12,427. Recertification that was done, 1. Recertification completed, that's 100% of that. Annual inspection, 1. 1 inspection completed, 100%.
Could you explain to us, on the occupancy, when you say units vacant under the SVC plan?
Mr. Woods, you
Homeville
want
and,
to turn your mic on?
that would be Homeville and Des Allen.
So, and again, I'm asking a question to try to not
That's
educate the
because
public, when Mr.
we're not
Brewer
gonna-
and everybody else.
We're not gonna fill them until the conversion. We're not gonna do anything with them until the conversion.
Okay. So with our conversion plan, those two places, which I know, they're empty.
Correct.
And when we do the conversion and rehab everything, then those units will be occupied, and hopefully we'll be back up to 129 or
Correct.
more units.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just trying to get everybody to understand where we're at. Thank you.
All right, emergency work order issue, we had 1. Emergency work order completed, 0. Non-emergency, 6. Non-emergency work order completed, 6.
Now, can I stop you again? That did catch my attention. Aren't we supposed to do something emergency within the 24-hour period?
I don't know what she's talking about, so I got to get with her.
Only thing I could think of, if I can, she's talking about the wall heater, sir. We had to wait for that wall heater to come in, but it's in the process as of today being put in. We just had to wait for the wall heater to be delivered to Johnstone. It was a wall heater. That's the only 24-hour emergency that I know. Then it was a hot water heater that we also taken care of, but we had to wait for the wall furnace to come in.
But also for that, you did go and
Right,
get
we
purchase.
two portable.
That's where I was going with.
Yes, sir.
was
Yes,
gonna
we
be my
did. Yes, we did. So we
next,
did pick up 2
thought.
portable wall. Portable wall heaters for them until the wall furnace came in, sir.
Okay.
Non-emergency work orders completed, 6, 100%. Total pending work orders, 0. Total wait list applicants, 1,603. Applicants pulled, 20. Applicant approved, 5.
Can you stop there again? I'm just asking these questions just so everybody gets to understand.
Okay, no
'Cause,
problem.
So when you say our total waiting list, that's for our
Public housing.
our own public housing.
Public housing.
So out of the 45 units we have available, we have 1,603 people trying to move in them. I'm saying it simply so that you
Correct.
understand and everybody and the public understands also. So from our application list, you pulled 20 of those people from there. Did we do anything with them?
Right now, I know she done approved those that were approved, but we can't do anything until we finish with the planning and zoning, energy, and electrician. We having problems with energy coming take the locks off, so that the unit can be inspected with lights
But our portion as far as the rehab we did, that's
completed.
Yes,
okay.
yes, sir. The problem is the units have been down for over 6 months. And anything over 6 months entitles, planning and zoning to come out and planning and zoning find stuff. The thing, Energy kept saying, they can't take the lock off unless the electrician is standing right there. You know, so that's been the hold up, waiting, get the electrician and Energy at the same place at the same time for them to take the locks off so he can do the work, and then they'll put the locks back on.
Okay. All right.
HCV report, vouchers lease, 249, housing assistance payment, 23,000. No, this ain't right. I don't know what that is. That ain't right.
Now,
Yeah, that's right.
Again,
That is right, 235,084.
For clarity again, would you explain that we've moved from our own public housing, now we're talking about
I said
the section-
HCV,
HCV, you know what that
housing
means?
choice voucher.
Again, it needs to be a really simple night tonight, and we're gonna re-educate ourselves, Mr.
I'm gonna get with her
Brewer.
and explain everything.
Okay,
I'm sorry that, you know.
I was in your shoes, that's why I know the
Okay, the
feeling.
lease up rate for vouchers is 60%. Annual recertification, 27 interims, they had 2. HQ inspections, they had 19. We had 1 port out, 2 port ins. On the wait list, we have 1,120. Searching, we have 4. New admission that was pulled was 11, and end of participation, 3.
Question. On your annual recertifications, or even your certifications, what are you going in and looking for? What are you documenting? What standards a little bit that?
If there's any change to the household composition, any change of income to the family, which we're doing to determine what their rent will be.
Okay. So those recertifications is pretty much paperwork stuff.
Yes.
Okay. So the HQ annual inspections, is that the physical things that we
That's
go out
when we
and?
go out and inspect the
So
units.
that's what I needed to say then. So on your annual inspections or whatever, what are you going to those
There's a
places and looking for?
standard form, the 5280, if I remember right, 5280.
5280.
Yeah, it's a HUD inspection booklet that you go by, and basically you making sure the house is clean, safe, and sanitary, you know what I'm saying? I can't dictate the way, you know, someone lives, you know, how they live, but I also make sure everything is functioning. You know, if the window's supposed to raise up, they're supposed to raise up and stay up. If the door is present, it should open and close. If there's a lock on that door, the lock, you know, should perform as it should. You know, as far as, you know, turning the faucet on, it shouldn't take forever for the water to get hot. You know, and as I'm running the water, I'm opening up the cabinets, making sure there's no leaks under the sink. You know, you check the GFI to make sure, you know, the ground fault is hooked up and stuff like that. You turn on the stove and the oven to make sure the burners in the oven works properly. This time of year, definitely make sure the heater works.
Okay.
You know, they may not have it on, but when I'm in there, the first thing I ask them, could you turn your heater on, please? You know, and if they're in there, I also ask them to turn on the stove and the oven so it don't be, oh, you burnt such and such, you know, because you know what's in your oven and I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for us also, that's with the stove. Same thing, you know, when you go in the kid's room, it can't have a block window. A lot of people would like to put a bed or a dresser in front of a window, and I always tell them, You can't have that, because if, in cases of fire, you might be able to move this dresser, but a child can't. Everything is, you know, to the standard if a child would a child be able to get out the room? And that's always the thing. And now, since January of 2000, last year, every house now that's on the program has to have a carbon dioxide detector, as well as an regular smoke detector, whether the house is all gas, you know, electric and gas, or all electric. And a lot of people say, well, why do I need a carbon dioxide detector if there's no gas in my house? For Ida, there were a lot of people that were running generators, and there were some people that got sick but now, you know, HUD made a standard that you have to have a carbon dioxide detector, whether you have gas in your house, electric or not, because of the so much use of generators during storms and stuff like that.
So that makes me to think, so, okay, if you've discovered something's not right in a unit, what's your corrective action? Who do we notify?
There's a form that you fill out, you know what I'm saying? I bring it in and I give it to Ms. Johnson, and we send it to the landlord, you know what I'm saying? If it's the landlord responsibility, you know, to take care of it. Some things could be the tenant, and I'll let the tenant know, you know, right then and there, hey, look, this has to be, and I'll be back within 2 weeks to check it, or, you know, 30 days. Down smoke detector, that's 24 hours.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And there is a follow-up to say,
Yes,
hey,
yes, sir,
landlord,
because
we coming back
yes,
and we
and there's
certify
also,
that.
we also send them letters, so it won't be no, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, and
Gotcha.
all that's documented, you know, and also the date when we going back is on the letter.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good answer.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next set of papers, we have our utility allowance.
Ooh, that's a big set.
That's in with the clip on it. First one you're looking at is public housing. Every year we have to update our utility allowance. So that's the utility allowance study for ACV, and that's the utility allowance for public housing.
Could you explain
That has something to do with how much a tenant will pay, because we add how much the rent is with the utility, and that gives you the total of.
So pretty much there's a formula that HUD will give
Correct.
us. We put their income or whatever into that formula, and you
Correct.
find
And
out how much
it's
credit they'll.
30%.
Yeah,
We don't go
okay.
over 40.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just put this in here for y'all to kind of look at.
For your
take a glance
information.
at.
Got it.
You asked about the maintenance charge list.
Yes, I did see you
Yeah.
hand it on something. I saw it somewhere.
This was in the pack I gave
I
you.
just saw it. I have it in here. So.
There's a letter in front of it that she did send out with it.
Oh, I got it in here. What's in the minutes?
It should,
Here it is, right here.
got it?
I know it's up here because I just read. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the utility allowance there.
Yeah. Okay, I do have it, so she's moved on to this one, yes. Okay, we're on the same page.
And you were asking, saying someone called about it.
Yes,
What
yes.
this list is, because they tear up stuff, we can't be paying for everything they tear up. They got to become accountable for what they tear up. So that's a list letting them know. You break this, you break that, you're gonna pay for it. Maybe if we start, since we're sending it out, maybe they'll be more aware of.
Now, Ms. Prevost, this is a charge list for if it's abuse or
Not wear and tear, just abuse.
not normal wear and tear.
Right.
Okay.
'Cause, I mean, we have some that take doors off and throw them away. Or the children bust up doors.
So every resident has gotten a copy of this?
Correct.
And so they're no surprises when something
There'll be no surprises.
come. Okay, that, again, just wanted to make sure we were aware of it, because when it came to me, I was like,
Yeah,
I didn't know.
it's not no wear and tear. It's,
It makes very good sense. I mean,
Right.
I'm with this. I am with this. I just didn't know about it. That's
Yes.
about it.
okay, the next thing is with the SACs, with the streamline conversion. We cleared one hurdle. Got a couple more to go. And on the second little stack is
Application.
the application due diligence submission checklist,
Okay.
and we are at 8.4.
What does that mean?
That's where we're at on the checklist.
Oh, on the checklist. Okay.
Yes. For the continue with the streamline conversion.
See.
I spoke with Richard. He asked if y'all would want to talk to him about it, let me know, and he'll come to our board meeting and discuss the plans with y'all.
So everything from 8.5 moving forward, is still some things that needs to be done, basically.
Yes.
So, okay, I guess I would say after
Said this next step, the next steps won't be as slow as
this.
first,
Okay.
the
Well,
other
look,
one, especially the last one.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, we have to wait for the direction to complete most of these
Yes.
steps.
Yes.
So, we did get some updates today, and that's what put us at 8.4, correct? Okay.
okay. No,
That packet in front of this checklist is the news that we got today.
what, this letter from Miss
From-
Gibbs?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, this was a big component that we were waiting on.
Okay, well, I look forward to reading.
That was where the field office certifies and moves to the next steps. So that's been a long wait, and we're very appreciative to get that, so.
So basically, we're still moving forward. Here is some completed things. So generally, public know that we're still moving forward, and here is HUD telling us where we stand, and hopefully real soon.
Yeah, I mean,
Completed.
the letter that we received today was basically the field office saying everything up to this point's been done. They're satisfied, they certified, now we can move
To the next.
to the next steps.
Great.
So it was a big
Great,
feat
yes.
of accomplishment, so.
Yes, believe me.
Applause to everybody that helped in the process and the field office for helping us get that done, because I know we've all been waiting.
Wonderful.
Okay. The next thing I put in was the condensed version of the SCPHA Corrective Action Plan Status Report.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have any questions on that, circular's sitting right there for you.
Mr. Woods, do you have any questions on that?
Well,
We done crossed many milestones.
I
with
mean,
that-
if it's saying
with the-
completed, that's just not a whole, so what's not completed would be my question. What do we still have to do?
Submit the 2023 five-year plan, which will probably go in this week. Because we had to submit the budget for the 22, and that was done today. So we pretty much caught up on everything.
And we have a very good overview of the status report for the corrective action plan.
That's what, in fact, that's where I had flipped to, it said a status report, January 2024. We talk about that a little bit?
Good evening, everyone. Shelley Smith with Circular Consulting, and Happy New Year to you all.
New Year,
you.
thank
New
you.
Year.
Yeah. So we have been providing updates to all of the items in the corrective corrective action plan, and as Ms. Yolanda indicated, most of the items are completed. However, HUD did make a pretty major change in terms of housing authorities' submission of updated administrative plan changes and also changes to the public housing admissions and continued occupancy policies, which basically, those changes were supposed to reflect all of the HOTMA changes that have to take place in the coming months. Initially, the implementation was to be January of 2024. However, HUD recognized the work that housing authorities have to engage in to make these policy changes, and they've given housing authorities the opportunity to revise those policies by January of 2025. So you're going to see us working, to make those policy changes and to have everything ready, not this January, but the following January. So that's a pretty substantial change that has been made by HUD, and we'll continue to work to put everything in place that needs to be implemented by next year this time.
So basically, this status report, everything that we have, I'm looking through from financial condition, physical condition, all of those things is something we need to be working on. Okay.
Actually, most of the actions that I referenced are in what's called the corrective action plan. Okay. There's also some changes that still do need to happen with respect to the FAS or the REACT for public housing. So there are some other benchmarks that we'll be continuing to work on. However, the policy changes that were in that corrective action plan and due in January of 2024 are deferred now until January of 2025.
And I would like to point out, again, I know it was stated, but in the corrective action plan, the majority of the items that were part of our corrective action plan have been completed.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we did note that. Yes. Absolutely. Good deal.
Any more questions on that one?
No, if it's completed, we don't really have a question.
Right. And you're going to see notations that say status update. So you'll see those items that we're continuing to work on. They'll be labeled.
Okay.
And we also have the longer version of the corrective action plan, which is that 40-page document that we've all wrestled with. We do have that available. We update it as well on a monthly basis, but we thought maybe the condensed version might be more useful for the board.
If anyone wants to see the 40-page one, I have
We do
it with
have
me.
that available.
And Ms. DeBrouillet, if you want to supply Circular your email address, they can forward you any additional information or the
Yeah.
full report or whatever.
Yes. We'll be happy to get that original version to you.
Okay, I forgot when we had the Victoria Celestine and I, where we sat down to score up for the fee accounting. And as you can see, the scores from and how we chose who we're gonna use. Victoria?
Good evening, Commissioners. Victoria Hines with Circular Consulting. Just to remind you that the agency issued a request for proposals round about November 11th of last year for fee accountant services, which are currently being provided by HSA Housing Solutions.
No, it's not. We're paying them, but they're not providing us anything.
Understood. The agency received 3 proposals in response to the solicitation. Those were from 76 Strategies, HSA Housing Solutions, and MRI Software. In accordance with the agency's procurement policy, a selection review committee was convened, which was comprised of Ms. Yolanda, Ms. Shelley Smith, and myself, not Ms. Shelley, I apologize, Ms. Celestine Mitchell and I, to evaluate the proposals, which we did on December 29th of last year via a virtual meeting. All of the proposals and evaluation forms and a copy of the original RFP was forwarded to all of the commissioners, and you were invited to participate, well, to be a part of the virtual meeting if you so chose to do so. As a result of that meeting, all of the proposals were evaluated, and it was a little close between 76 Strategies Group and HSA, but at the end of the day, 76 Strategies Group won out. And so what you'll see is a...
Really?
Yeah. What you probably have before you is the scoring matrix, which gives the total score assessed for each proposal.
Could you talk a little bit about some of the criteria that you were, I know you said you sent something out, and I don't recall it all, but just for
Do you have
generally
a copy
speaking.
of the RFP?
It was in the December
I
packet.
could believe it. Can't remember that far
That's
back
okay.
on some things.
I apologize, I don't have the RFP in front of me, but.
No, or just some of the stuff
Right,
that you
no,
guys.
right.
you
So
would-
part of the evaluation criteria for all of the proposals was, we looked at whether or not, respondents had prior expertise in providing fee accounting services for public housing agencies, such as this particular one. Cost was a factor. Location was a factor. You know, is this a company that the agency could easily reach out to? And then also the qualifications of the individual team members that might be assigned to the agency. And so when you looked at all of those criteria for the respondents, it really was close between HSA, Housing Solutions, and 76 Strategies. But at the end of the day, you know, when you looked at the proposal as well as prior experience with the current vendor, we had to take some of that into consideration. So when we did all of that, it came down to 76 Strategies being the highest scoring respondent.
Okay, and at this time, do we need to take action as a board, or?
No, I believe this was just as a information purposes, if you
Yes,
will.
yes.
The fees proposed by 76 Strategies were very reasonable. We know that they are currently providing the same type of services to a neighboring housing authority, and they've been very successful at doing so. So
Okay.
this is a firm with which we are all familiar as far as their ability to get the work done and in a timely fashion.
Can I say we just not select somebody tonight? I know you sent me the information. I don't really recall. I just want to go back and read some of what you guys sent to just see what criteria and stuff. Well, I'm not going to make this statement, but
Yeah, we're not required to make any,
no,
take any
yeah.
action at this
but,
time.
But now the information is before us now. We can have to take the time to digest and kind of read some of the stuff that you guys wrote down. You sent it to us. I have to tell you, it
If
was
you don't have
Christmas
it, you
time.
can
I
ask-
wasn't reading.
Give me a call.
But
and
I'd
I'll
like
send
to
it you
read
again.
and understand all the criteria and all of that. And I'm so glad that you, never mind, I'm going to let that go. I'll read the criteria from everybody, and then collectively, Mr. Chairman, we'll make a decision.
And just as a point of clarity, the criteria were included in the request for proposals that was advertised. So all respondents knew what criteria were going to be used to evaluate their respective proposals. That's the same criteria you will see on the scoring sheets. It's the same criteria that Ms. Yolanda, Ms. Celestine, and I discussed during our evaluation meeting. And we wanted to make sure that you, as the commissioners, had the ability to observe the meeting and just listen in on the conversation. We did not have any commissioners who joined in. It was rescheduled, but that rescheduled day and time was provided to all the commissioners. If that didn't work, no one that I recall said anything, but it was a very good discussion that we had. And so when you look at the scoring sheets, you'll see comments, because all of us had to write in comments about each criteria for each respondent.
Did you record your session?
No, we're not required to, so we didn't.
Because I did get, we had the exchange, and it got rescheduled, and I just couldn't.
Oh, I didn't know, you didn't say anything, Commissioner Woods, that it didn't work for you, so I would.
No, I
Okay.
didn't. I didn't get back because it didn't work.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Except for me.
Have we discussed, and I don't know if this is a carryover from November, December, but we have RFP for interior units.
We'll be doing one, putting one out for the inside of the units, since they're so bad.
Okay. And that's at Booty Estates?
Yes.
All right. And then, do we have the meeting scheduled for this calendar year? Was that provided in the board packet this month for,
It's at the back.
okay,
Yeah, it is.
all right. I just want to make sure we touch on every agenda item on here. All right, other matters to address this evening. We do have a new face on the board this evening. Michelle DeBrouillet, she's our ex officio member. She was just elected to the parish council, and she does have some familiarity with the housing authority. Her husband was a longtime board member previously, and she's very involved in the community. And so I think it's great that you joined us. So, welcome.
Thank you, I look forward to it.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any other matters that we need to address this evening before we go into?
Other thing I forgot. We did the RFP for the auditor, legislative auditor, and Mike Estes was the only one that applied. So I have his contact.
Wonderful.
Well, that could be a topic for discussion. In fact, that was going to be one of the things, and I know we have to announce why we're going in the reasoning why we're going into executive session, and that was one of the conversations.
We have legal and the auditor.
And personnel matters.
And personnel for this evening, so. Okay, any additional for this evening?
Excuse me, I just wanted to add to that, with respect to the 2024 board meeting calendar or schedule, we did note that based on the bylaws, the meetings would be held on the fourth Tuesday of each month.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that in December of 2024, that Tuesday happens to be Christmas Eve, the 24th.
Yes.
So we wanted to bring that to the board's attention
we
in
will
the
adjust
event,
that right now.
in the event some action may need to be.
We'll need to
taken on
check
that.
with the council secretary and see what other date is available in December, but
Yes.
we will make a note to get that meeting changed.
I'll check that tomorrow.
Preferably at least a week before Christmas, if possible.
Yeah,
It's
I
that
think
last week right before Christmas
with
gets
enough
tough.
notice, we can definitely adjust that.
So, okay. Anything else? All right, at this time, we will open up for public comment. Public hearing's now open. If there's anyone that wishes to address the board, you may come forward. Please state your name and your address. All right. Seeing none, public comment is closed. We have a motion to move into executive session.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we move into executive session to discuss financial matters, legal matters, and personnel matters.
All right, Mr. Woods has made a motion to move into executive session and we have a second by Ms. Jackson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that carries. The time is now 6:40. We'll move into executive session. welcome back. Do we have a motion from the board?
Mr. Chair, I move that we return to regular session.
A second?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
all right, do we have a second to adjourn?
Second?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that passes. The meeting is now adjourned at 7:47. Y'all have a good evening.
Yes, we made it.